Benzino wants 3 rounds with 50 Cent after he claimed he gave statements.
I notice, before I start, right, with the internet, you got a lot of different groups of people that get representation by rappers, artists, or whoever, influencers. So it's like, not everybody's the same. Everybody's in their own group. I noticed Curtis Jackson's group of people are usually niggas who, it just seems like a lot of these, like, y'all niggas is following a nigga who got blammed up 9 times and didn't do shit about it. Then, at the Hit Factory, the Ink thumps up on him and Tony Yayo, and he makes statements, which is his signature, made statements about what happened. Now, with me talking about this, I want a lot of people to realize, and a lot of the younger guys, to listen to what I'm saying. Me, I got a big heart. You know, a lot of things that I've done for people were my own fault because I ended up doing shit for the wrong people. These motherfuckers would just walk over my dead body, step on me if they had a chance, right? In the situation with my nephew and Curtis, it's like they're kind of alike. Like I helped both of them, and then years later they kind of stabbed me in the back. First with Curtis. We'll start with Curtis since he likes posting things. You know what I'm saying? When he was at the Hit Factory, and I've told the story before, but it kind of means something now, right? Curtis ran down to my studio session not even a half a block down. And I actually helped his ass. He showed me where he got poked up. And I actually helped him and sent him on his way to the hospital, called him a car service. Because he didn't have any money, I don't think, on him. How else was he going to get to the hospital? He showed me where he got poked up. He showed me that Tony Yayo drop with when Black Child lumped him up with no in it. Me, the big heart that I have, the cancer in me, said, come on, you know what? Let me help you out. And I helped him out. And now years later, he keeps trying to, what a lot of people been trying to put a stain on my name and on my reputation, and you can't do it. The gender thing didn't work, the shit didn't work, none of that works. I've never even met that gender. Never was even in the same room. We shot a movie together, the director gave the gender my number, they edited the conversations, never even hooked up, never seen nothing. I have a history of dealing with beautiful women my entire life. The woman I'm with now is amazingly beautiful. But that's a different story. Niggas like Curtis, he seemed like a nigga that always been insecure, not always that nigga on the side looking like at the other niggas who be getting the bitches. See, I didn't grow up the big, tough, thug gangster nigga. I was a fly hustler. But if you fucked with me, I'd take your head off. But I wasn't out there bullying people. And I ran with a big crew that still fuck with me today. Free my brother Porky. Free Trev. Free Hood Boss. So that street shit, I did it all. So I don't worry about that. I'm 60 years old now. It's supposed to be a new path. But this keeps posting stupid shit about me, and I'm like, what's his a nigga that actually helped you out? This is how you treat him? Because like I said, we can get in the ring and I'll beat your ass, Curtis. Yeah. Me and you could get in the ring for that money. 3 rounds. I'll whoop you. You big and sloppy and too stiff. And I don't believe all that Golden Glove shit. All right, we're going to put that to the side. Mayweather, holler at me. Believe me. I'll be his Huckleberry. All right. We're going to talk about my nephew now. No, Jesus Christ. These motherfuckers, man. Hold on.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Go over here by the pool. We're gonna go over here by the pool. All you out there talk about eviction. There goes eviction right there. Anyways, we're gonna get back to the story. Alright. Let's get back to the story, baby. Sun's out, you know what I mean? Alright. So, they took out a bunch of loans on the house, found out. When I got to the wake, I went by myself, seen my mom, closed casket. I made a decision I wasn't going to go to the funeral because of the tension. I seen her and we was filming and I was going to go back. Because I didn't want the rest of the family and everybody else, all this shit, all this drama, to overshadow my mother's funeral. She was being buried in Plymouth. I made the decision not to go. As I'm getting ready to get on the plane the next day, which was going to be my mother's funeral, it was a Sunday, Stevie J called me. Shout out to Sleezo. Hope you all right, my G. Ain't talked to you in a minute. So Sleezo calls me and says, hey, I'm out here in Plymouth. Where you at? I'm like, man, I'm not going out there, bro. He's like, oh, man, I'm way out here. Plymouth is like 45 minutes from Boston. I said, stay there, I'm going to come get you. I jump in a rental. Now, mind you, I have no reason to be strapped. Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock. I'm not thinking about nothing. I ain't got no beef in Boston. Jump in a rental. I start heading out towards Route 3. Route 3 goes to the Cape. It's a 2-lane highway, but it's super busy. And it's a super conservative white highway. A lot of people live down the Cape of White. You know what I'm saying? It's like the suburbs. As I'm going down there, I noticed there's a funeral procession. The cars flashing lights and everything. So I'm like, oh shit, I wonder if this, sure enough, it was my mother's. Seen a bunch of light-skinned Cape Verdean people. I was like, yeah, this is... I'm on the left lane, the funeral procession's on the right going slow. I'm driving on the left, next thing you know, bop, 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 bop. I'm getting hit. I got hit 3 times in my shoulder. I felt them, but I'm still driving. I did a 180, a fishtail 180, started driving back against the traffic. I couldn't drive no more because my arm kind of felt limp. I kept breathing and feeling my chest because I've been shot before. I wanted to make sure that, nothing hit my chest. Once I knew that my breathing was good and everything, I jumped out that bitch and started running. As I'm running, I run towards the hearse. And this is a true story. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear on my mother's soul this shit happened. I can't even believe it happened. As I run, I go towards the hearse, and all I seen, because it has the old school locks, I just seen the finger pressed down on the lock of the front of the hearse, because there was 2 hearses. Of course, one had my mother's coffin. It had to be. So then I ran down a couple other cars, and then 2 of my cousins, Auntie Geneva, God rest her soul, I jumped in the back of their car. They're screaming like a motherfucker. I said, you got to drive over the medium, get me out of here, because, I'm losing a lot of blood. They drove over the medium, and we're going down here. Now, at that time, my nephew never been locked up, never had he wasn't a street kid. I raised him. He was a DJ. Man, I raised him. You could see in videos, I was proud. That was my first nephew. I loved him to death. My nephew was the first one to call police. He was the first one to get on the phone and said, I just shot a man, because come to find out, he had 3 guns and he had licenses for all of them. I didn't even know he had licenses. He called the police first. All right, this is the shit that nobody said. This is the shit that these niggas at the podcast, everybody just wants to try to get a story, clicks and comments, and trying to stain somebody's name. Don't even know what the fuck they talking about. He called the police first. The very first one to call police. Now, mind you, this is about 1 o'clock, broad daylight. Cars, 100 people seen him. Everybody's seen him. He told the police that I had a gun, and I pointed it at him, that I'm Benzino. Now, in Boston, I got a bad reputation. The police been trying to fuck me over for years. My whole family, my father, my brothers, it is what it is. City, you know what I'm saying? I love my people. I love the hood. but the power structure, I can't fuck with them. And I love the sports teams, which, by the way, the Celtics will beat the shit out the Knicks tonight. But let's get back on point. He called the police first and said I had it. When we finally get off the exit, I'm bleeding like a motherfucker, getting ready to pass out, blood all in the back of the car. The police pull us over, state troopers, as soon as we get off the exit. I think it was the Pembroke exit. They took me out the back of the car and stripped me out and everything. Bleeding. They said, where's the gun? Where's the gun? I think that it was Driscoll. Now, Driscoll's whole family, if y'all know the Driscolls up in Boston, y'all know them some dirty motherfuckers, all right? He said, yeah, your nephew said you had a gun. Your nephew said that you were shooting at him. Your nephew said this. And I said, no, he shot me. So what the fuck are you talking about? He said, because like, at this point, it's just a lot of chaos. They're screaming, yelling, where's the gun? Your nephew? I said, no, he shot me. I said, I mean, it's broad daylight. And plus, like, I've been around enough to know that whatever you say right then and there that don't matter when it comes to snitching. It matters in the grand jury and in the courtroom. So now, the ambulance came. I get in the ambulance. They're still asking me, where's the he said that you shot him. Where's the So at that point now, I get to the hospital. That's when Love and Hip Hop cameras. I had a connection in there at the hospital. You know, it's Boston. I'm in Quincy Hospital. So they came, they and everything. More detectives came. They said, look, you know what I'm saying? You know, he called. He said you had a gun. That's the reason he shot you and everything. So really, how the could I snitch when he was the first one that called them and said that the first one, before any statement that I made anything, he said he shot me. Let's make that clear. All right. Months go by. It's time for the grand jury. Now the grand jury is going to be the jury that got picked to see that if he's going to get charged with attempted. In Boston, anything over the waist, attempted. Anything below the waist, assault with a dangerous weapon. Above the waist is 15 years and up. Everybody knows that. We get to the grand jury. They ask me, do you know who? I said, nah, I don't know who shot me. Now that's in the paperwork. The grand jury, you can go get the paperwork. They said, nah, I don't. I said, I don't know who shot me. I said, I was dizzy, I was f***ed up. But you said this. I said, I don't know what I was saying. I was panicking. I was blanking out. I was saying anything. I was in an ambulance. I said anything. I was in the hospital. I was under medication. I was saying anything.
Thanks for tuning in to 9 Mag TV.